This is a quick overview of GoAnimate. So one way to get to GoAnimate is you can click on the link under today's lesson at the class website, or you can type in tinyurl chain cartoon, tinyurl.com chain cartoon. And when you get there, remember that the videos you've saved in the past are under videos. And to create a new video, click create. And then when you're creating a new video, you scroll all the way down to full video maker, and you click on the little peeps theme, make a video. And this will load your studio tab. Quick reminder that when you load your studio tab, that when you make new characters, and you see in the up corner, the upper left corner, when you make new characters, it opens a new tab, and then you just click back to get to your studio tab. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a background. So I'll go to Google for a forest, or any background I'm looking for. Okay, this looks good. Save image as. Save it to my desktop. I go back, I import it. Browse for the image. Go to my desktop, look for that image. Some of you may decide to save it to your social studies folder. So I did a browse, now I do upload. I select it as background type. Click upload. This part takes a moment. Scene imports are a little, background imports are a little buggy, so sometimes it takes more than once to try. Success, so now I can close it. And I have my background. Now usually some backgrounds are small. If this is a background, if that background was a little too small, then what I do is I click that camera in the corner, and then I can crop it. Okay. Or I could just leave it like that. You know, it's fine if it's this way. So let's go back to this forest theme. So do you see this is under your stuff? So things you import are under your stuff. Things you create inside this, like characters that you make in GoAnimate, will be under little peeps. So I say it again. Stuff you get from the internet will be under your stuff once you import it. Stuff you create in little peeps, like characters, will be under little peeps. So let's go to little peeps. And then it takes a moment to refresh. Okay. And then let's say I want to create a new character. I click OK. Now, you see this, that's actually a good reminder for me to, before I do that, let's save. So I'll save my project, demo 3, select everyone. Save. Okay, and then I'll click a new character and click OK. And let's create from scratch. And once I've done creating my character, I click save. Let's see it again. You see it, click here, save. And then when I go back, so do you see how now I go back a tab to Little Peeps? And then if I click on Little Peeps again to refresh it, scroll down. My character should be there. Let's see. Where is he? And there he is. I made too many, so I'll delete one of them. Okay. So let's have him talk. So I'm hearing the voice. Go hello. Okay. And then I'm under voice, and then let's go over to actions. Let's have him walk. So we have him move. Excuse me. Have him move across the screen, run across the screen. Okay, an expression, let's say like move across the screen crying. Okay, I'm ready for the next scene. Well, now what I do is click add scene. Okay. And now I'm gonna say add this guy. I want him to turn the other way, so I click the arrow over here. Okay, let's go back to voices and say, what's wrong? Add voice.
What's wrong?
You see it shows up here. Now, I made a mistake earlier. Let's go back to scene 1. So you see in the bottom I can click back to scene 1. If I click on him, I actually never clicked the add voice when I said I never saved what he was supposed to say. So let's go. I'm back in scene 1 and say, ah, why is there suffering? And let's change this voice. Add voice. And you see when I say add
Why
voice,
is the suffering?
you see it shows up in the bottom. Now let's click back to scene 2, and let's double click on him. Let's change his. Let's change the. Say O. And let's change his voice to. Okay, and let's give him an expression. Let's see, it would be a cool one. Okay, and then ready to add the next scene, I click Add Scene. And you see when you click that Add Scene button, it already remembers where everyone left off. So now I'll click him. Let's go back to Actions. Let's have him walk over. Walk over here. Okay. This is a. Let me tell you about Buddhism. Remember, you always have to make sure you go back and select the same voice again. It doesn't remember it, unfortunately. Otherwise, the voices will keep changing. Click Add Voice.
Let me tell you about Buddhism.
And do you see right here, it's keeping the dialogue? Okay. And I click Add Scene if I want to add another scene. And if I want to change my background, I can import it. If I want to use the background I had saved earlier, I go back to your stuff, because remember this is stuff you found from the internet. I go to Backgrounds. Now click the background. Okay. And then I should be saving often. And I can preview whenever I want to.
Why is the suffering?
What's wrong?
Let me tell you about Buddhism.